Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. I hope you're all doing okay today and that you're ready for some more reincarnation. And also thank you everyone for wishing me happy birthday. Thank you. 231, that's a lot. I'm getting old. I'm definitely getting old. I have had a very nice day actually. I took the day off from work because I don't want to work when it's my birthday, especially not when it's a Monday. So I've been home, I've been doing some cleaning because my apartment has been a mess, and I had my family over today, so I just basically said goodbye to them just a few minutes ago. We were having some cake and they complained about the coffee because I don't drink coffee, so I had like expired, I'm not sure what it's called in English, but you know, those small packages of coffee that you can have, just instant coffee, yeah. They were not too happy about that, but the cake was good and the ice cream was good, so they were happy about that. I had some nice gifts as well. I had some chocolate balls, which is like my favorite treat. It's amazing. If you ever come to Sweden, try it. It's absolutely amazing. And I also got gift cards for books and for games, and a really nice, it hasn't arrived yet, but a really nice coat that I wished for. So I'm happy. I'm very happy. I'm being spoiled by my family. They are too kind to me. Should have your birthday on a holiday then? Yeah. I mean, why isn't my birthday a holiday? Like, why isn't everyone's birthday a holiday? Like, come on. It should be like a rule, at least, like, that you are allowed to just take the day off if it's your birthday. And not having to like use your vacation days for it. Just you have one day off automatically for your birthday. That would be something. That would be very nice, I feel. But yeah, I have not really planned anything special for today. I think we should just continue on as always with reincarnation. I am very eager to see how this story will unfold. The last time we played, we were in Yukimasa and Pauline's story, and we all know how dark door 2 was in the main game, so I mean, I have concerns for Pauline's safety, you know, so yeah, we will see how that will turn out. She was basically chased out of his apartment because he was doing something, and yeah, but then she realized that he has used that excuse a lot of times, so she is determined now to go back and confront him about it, and I'm a bit worried, not gonna lie. I hope that they will have as a nice ending as Nelly and Mel, but we will see how it will turn out. Better idea. Everyone's birthday should be a national holiday. Just a free day for everyone. Yeah. Basically, why work? Why not just celebrate everyone's birthday all the time, always? Just have cake and a nice time, you know? Although, if I had that much cake, I would die. Like, I didn't even have that much cake today, and my body is protesting. Parts of getting old, everyone. You can't eat what you used to when you were a kid. Or like a teenager. I remember so well, like the summer holidays. I used to just stuff myself with chocolate and Coke, and it was just great, and I felt fine. Now if I look at anything, like any bubbly drinks, I die. If I look at chocolate, I die. If I look at cake, I definitely die. So yeah, my body is protesting a lot, but it was a nice cake. It was bought from the store, so I didn't make it or anything, but it was really nice. I'm not sure if you have it like outside of Sweden, but dime cake. It's like a dime is like a candy chocolate with like crispy toffee, and they basically have made a cake from that, and that's really, really good. You're not old though. Thank you. I guess I'm not too old, but I feel old. I just talked with my family about this today, like, because they were asking, "Oh, how do you feel?" And I was like, "Well, it sucks," because I feel like when you get a certain age, people have certain expectations for you. They don't expect you to sit here on YouTube as an anime vampire girl. They expect you to like have a family, to have kids, to be responsible, to not wish for gift cards for games and books for your birthday. Like, but here I am. So I don't feel my age, but I feel like I should maybe act more my age, at least in some people's eyes, like especially like at work. I feel very out of place because it's so much responsibility sometimes, and I'm like, oh, but I don't really work here. Which I do, I have been for 2 years, but like it feels like well, actually I think it's 3 years, time flies. Anyway, but yeah. I feel like those expectations is what's the worst, really. Where's the kids and husband? I mean, I have a furry kid. Does that count? I have adopted. I'm a single mom of a four-legged creature. Maybe, but it's your life, not theirs. What makes you happy? Yeah, I definitely am. Like, I try to not think of it too much, and I am very blessed that I have like-minded friends that I can surround myself with, so I don't feel too out of place. Because like when I'm at work, I really feel out of place because that's where the responsible adults are, and I'm like, I don't fit in here. But in my like free time, I have a lot of good friends that really make me feel welcomed and appreciated for who I am. So yeah, and also everyone here on YouTube has also been very appreciative and nice, and yeah, so. But yeah, I think we should start the game. I am excited. I'm very excited. And I hope that the sound is good, as it is the same settings that I used last time, so it should be, but I don't trust OBS, so just tell me if something is wrong with the sound. What do you mean? I judge you every day. I mean, I judge you too, Fia. It's mutual, but it's a judgmental kind of love, you know? Okay, I think my sound is pretty good now. Actually, I might lower it a bit. It's a kind of mellow song, I noticed. There. Okay, I think it's good. Everyone has skeletons in their closet. Things they'd rather people not find out about. But most people's secrets were, in my eyes, trifling matters. Rarely anything more than, oh no, I'm too ashamed to tell anyone. And never anything that would utterly ruin them were to get out. Yeah, Yukimasa do have a big secret. I'm very curious to see how bad he is in this timeline. Like, does he have any control of himself this time? Or is it just still a mess? I mean, he is a mess, but like, how much of a mess, you know? From a young age, I was conscious of a violent impulse that prowled deep within, but I had no concept of what it truly was yet. Oh, we get to see it from his eyes. Interesting. It wasn't until shortly after I entered elementary school that I found a clear understanding of these feelings. I was watching the news one day when, in the middle of a report, the reporter and staff were murdered on live television. Oh my. Wow, okay. The killer seemed to want to be seen, because he deliberately positioned himself such that his face would be visible on camera as he stabbed a reporter again and again. Screams and shouts filled the air. Someone yelled, "Stop the camera!" and the screen went black. It only lasted a matter of seconds, perhaps 10 at most. But still those images remained fresh in my mind, playing back in an endless loop. Everyone around me acted as though it was some terrible thing never to be spoken of, and perhaps that was the most reasonable response. But it was utterly inexplicable to me at the time. And that was when I first realized that the feelings I had were not feelings others shared with me. I was enamored with that footage, the sounds of people screaming, the sight of them writhing in pain, the hope draining from their eyes. It brought me indescribable joy, ecstasy. Okay, so he's definitely still insane. So it made no sense to me why it inspired fear in others, why they refused to speak of it. I couldn't imagine not wanting to talk about something so electrifying. But I was the only one who felt that way, who yearned for the sight of more death. Fortunately, or perhaps unfortunately, I had been gifted with a talent for deception. I knew how society expected me to act, and I played the part to a T, all the while nursing a thirst for blood within. I put on a friendly smile while interacting with people, but beneath it I was always wondering, what face would they make as they died? What kind of scream would they regale me with? How would they beg me for their life? I do find Yukimasa such an interesting character. Imagine this. There are people like him out there in the world, faking it just as he does. And that's terrifying. There's a reason that a lot of murders and stuff is within families. It is insane. It really is. Maybe Yuki should start gaming with the other non-responsible adults, us instead. Yeah. But you know, video games causes violence, everyone knows that. I was struck with an urge to shove the person next to me in front of an oncoming train whenever I waited at a platform. I fantasized about violent accidents happening whenever I stood at a crosswalk. Whenever I saw a blade, I wanted to eviscerate passersby with it. Whenever I saw a woman with a slender neck, I yearned to strangle the life out of her. Hi there, welcome. Can I start a petition that you do some gameplay first, then discussions, so I can actually join in sometime? I feel like that would be make for a poor start of the stream, just me just starting the game, no highs, no nothing, you know? I'm sorry, but you're in a minority. As I got older, the urges only grew more powerful, making even day-to-day life a challenge. Fantasy stopped being enough to quench my thirst. If I wasn't careful, I might find myself with my hands actually around someone's neck. More. I needed more than this. I wanted to experience it for myself. I wanted to spill blood with my own hands. I wanted to feel the life fade from someone's body. I wanted to kill. When my hunger reached its peak, I wondered why I had thought it necessary to restrain myself at all. Was it because I was afraid of getting caught? Because I didn't want to face society's judging eyes? Because I didn't want to cause trouble for my family? None of that was sufficient to hold my thirst at bay. I even began to entertain the thought of letting myself get caught. Going on a killing spree, tasting blood to my heart's content, then sentenced to death and freed from temptation at the apex of my life. It seemed like a sound enough plan. The question was, why had I hesitated to go through with it for so long? Because you shouldn't kill people, question mark? Well, no more hesitating, no more waiting. I was going to kill. It didn't matter who. Anyone's blood would suffice, so long as it would quench this unending thirst. But when I stepped out into public, having at last embraced my murderous desires, I heard a voice whisper into my ear. Remember the vow you made. Vow? I did? To who? And when? Where? What on earth was the voice talking about? Thank goodness for Michelle, right? Utter nonsense, I told myself and tried to banish it from my mind. But no matter what I did, it kept coming back. And always right as I readied myself to follow through with my urges at that. The sound of the voice paralyzed me, kept my feet bolted to the ground. And worst of all, it seemed to be my own voice. Yeah, you don't actually want this. And actually, as strange as it sounds, I kind of want to believe it's true too. I don't want it to turn out to be just some cheesy pickup line. I mean, how romantic would that be, that we have some sort of deeper connection from before we know? It could be fate that brought us together again. You never know. Now I definitely have concerns. Like, all this speaking of, I want to kill someone, I want to strangle a beautiful woman, I want blood, and then we see this. Pauline, this secret I'm keeping from you is a great and terrible one, and this barely suppressed hunger will eventually break through to the surface. I have no right to be at your side, to be blessed by your beautiful smile. So he does see it as a blessing, at least. I mean, I do think that he does care for her in his own weird way. He's not in love with her, I don't think. At least he wasn't before, and I don't think he is now, because I actually do think that he might be incapable of those feelings. But he definitely feels something for her, some kind of affection. In his own deranged way, you know? What I want most is to spend a nice, quiet life with you. I don't need anything extravagant. Just an ordinary life, slowly growing older, having 3, maybe 4 children. We never fight, and eventually before I knew it, I'd be an old lady, thinking, it was an uneventful life, but it was the best I could have asked for. That's the life I know in my mind what the best thing I can do for you is, but so many of my actions are not driven by reason. The sight of her smiling face calms the creature within. Her presence suppresses my savage desires, allowing me to act like a normal man. She is my tether, the chains that keep me fixed to the ground, and she's the only one who can do that for me. Yeah, until you find another tether, which I hope you don't. But even she can't wholly quell the bloodlust that seethes within. Yeah, I know, no fights. Yeah, like I said last time, that's not really realistic. Like, maybe with your friends that you won't fight because you don't see them enough. But if you're in a romantic relationship, seeing another person that often, you will fight. It might not always be like serious fights, but you will definitely, because I mean, otherwise you would like date yourself, and that would be concerning. So I mean, different people have different opinions. You can't like agree on everything. That's basically impossible. So yeah, fights will happen in a relationship like that. But Pauline is she's very sweet and naive. She doesn't really know much about the world. But even she can't wholly quell the bloodlust that seethes within. And so now, 2 separate cravings dwell together in my heart. One is a yearning to surrender myself to my desires, to spread pain and death and horrible suffering. The other is a longing to relinquish myself to the peaceful life she so desires, to share a quiet and uneventful life with her. Each one pulls at me in completely opposite directions. They're so fundamentally different and utterly incompatible. Yeah, you really can't have the cake and eat it right here. It's not that kind of situation. I fight plenty with myself, thank you very much. I mean, I do too, but you know what I mean. What if you don't agree with yourself? Yeah, I know. That was a bad example. What I meant was that, yeah, that different people will have different opinions on at least some stuff. And as they also say, opposites attract, which is very true a lot of times, I feel. And that makes way more conflict, because you will have different opinions on stuff. And like, it's so easy to start fighting over something. Like, if you like there's a reason we have like the honeymoon phase and then the reality sets in. Like, that's basically a saying, because it's true. Because yeah, the honeymoon phase, you like get to ignore all the things that annoys you. You're just like, yeah, but they're still cute, it's fine. But in the end, like, you will be annoyed that they didn't pick out the trash for the second time this week, or that they couldn't remove their glass from the living room table when they left the room, or... Yeah, it's very easy to get annoyed. So a life without conflict it's impossible. It really is, but it doesn't have to be like all the time, but a life completely without it? No, I don't think that's possible. Hello, Eldrin, welcome, thank you very much. How are you today? I hope you have a nice day. I mean, it's been 2 months since we started dating, but we still haven't stayed a night together. So, you know... Do you not want me to stay the night, Yukimasa? Finding her brought me relief, taught me what it was like to live without temptation. But now, I find myself dreaming of killing her. Oh my god. Yeah. That's what I was afraid of. Could be better, could be worse. Okay, yeah. Good is not awful, at least. I mean, I feel like it's always... It's kind of like standard state, like could be better, could be worse, you know? But it's good that it's not bad, at least. My desire is transforming from I want to kill someone, anyone, to I want to murder her specifically. Oh god. I have a very bad feeling. Oh my god. Was he always having these feelings towards Pauline as well? Or is it because they are like actually allowed to date this time? Because I mean, in his first life she was a nun, so it was very hush hush, we can't really do this, so... And he was busy with his like work for Jacopo. And in the second life they were away from each other most of the time because he was traveling, and then he forgot about her. So I wonder if it's like always been like that and we just haven't seen it from his perspective, or if this is because he's allowed to date her and yeah, he's starting to feel more relaxed, and then his true self is showing. Could not be Monday, I mean, yeah. First life, he also had outlets. Yeah, exactly, he also had outlets because he was allowed to kill and torture. And second life as well, in like when he was like doing it on the ship, he wasn't really allowed to, but he found outlets for it because it wasn't something... I mean, I almost said that it wasn't something as bad as it is in modern day, which it was. I mean, murder is still murder, and it was definitely not something he was allowed to do, but he was able to do it without getting caught, you know, whereas that's kind of harder in this society we live in, so yeah. I mean, he says seeing her calms him down, so maybe this is just where his mind goes when she's not around. Maybe. I mean, could be. Definitely could be. I mean, if he really wanted to live out his life as a bad guy, he could just become a dentist. He could become a dentist! Oh my god, Tudor! Oh my goodness. I mean, I feel you on that one, but at the same time, I'm kind of happy that dentists exist, because otherwise we would have other problems. But yeah, I completely understand. Oh god. And this is after swearing I would never lay a hand on her. The sight of Pauline sleeping, helpless to protect herself, unfailingly brings with it a hunger to squeeze the life out of her. And that's why I cannot allow myself to spend the night with her, because when I step past that final line of defense, I will cease to be a man and become a beast. Oh, casual Yukimasa. Let's have a look. I mean, I prefer his, like, normal outfit, but I mean, he looks fine in this too. He's a fine looking man. It's time. It's time? What? Wait, are you like going out into like the bad parts of the city and just kill people? Yukimasa? Could be his two sides inside as well. The hungry one realizes that she's calming him, so it wants to lash out. Maybe. That's a very nice nice theory there, Fia. Every city has an underbelly, no matter how clean it appears on the surface. He's Batman, oh god. You can try to put up appearances until the end of time, but hiding your seedy population doesn't get rid of them. And that was the very first thing I looked into when I moved here. Not because I wanted to feel safe in my new home, but the exact opposite. Being the capital of France and a large populous city, the streets of Paris were naturally kept impeccably clean. It was safe enough to walk alone at night. You were unlikely to encounter any trouble so long as you exercised the bare minimum of caution. So I needed information about the city. Enough to guess where crimes were likely to take place, and enough to get there before the police could. Look at his face. Look at that face. That is a killer face right there. I'm being followed. From the footsteps, it sounds like two men. This is probably good enough. I came to a stop a comfortable distance down a poorly lit alley. Turning back, the two young men stood blocking my path. They seemed to be in their late teens. Still children as far as I was concerned, but hardened in a way boys their age shouldn't be. They were both fairly tall, around my height, and kept their hands hidden in their jackets. Presumably they were hiding weapons of some sort. And their mouths were contorted unnaturally into half-slack smiles. They don't know who they are messing with. Even in the poor light, I could make out numerous teeth that were cracked or black with rot. Speaking of dentists. Well, well. I'm impressed you haven't been swept up by the police yet, with mouths like that, you filthy addicts. Oh look, Slanty Eyes is trying to talk to us. How about you learn the fucking language first? Right back at you, bitch. I'm surprised you still got your head on your shoulders, walking around all alone this time of night. You picked the wrong place to go for your midnight stroll. Or what, you get your dumb ass lost? We'd be happy to show you the way back. Just a grand an hour. Why, thank you for such a generous offer. Is that all you have to say? What? We need to spell everything out for you? Hand over the goddamn money, you dumb fuck. Just fork her over and no one has to get hurt. Wait, monsters! Yeah, but he is, so I mean... Yuki, hello guys, welcome to my clinic. Oh my god. The boys. Oh my, how do you pronounce Guffaning? Guffaning like buffoons. Pulled their hands from the jacket's pockets. As I had suspected, they were armed. The blades had visible bulk to them, double-edged knives. I was surprised they had anything remotely decent on them. They weren't the kind of knives you could buy at a corner store. Maybe they got them at a hunting shop, or from a friend. I like his jacket, would mug him for it. You would end up dead, though. He is not to be trifled with, that's for sure. He's a scary man. Hello, Bacon. Welcome, welcome. Thank you, thank you. How are you today? Part of me wished they had been guns instead. That would have made it more exciting. But I knew that was asking too much of this city. I would have to go somewhere more dangerous for that. Which wasn't to say that the glimmer of their knives didn't excite me plenty. A hot shiver ran up my spine. Ecstasy. I like to see him try fighting at I mean, true. I didn't think about that. So, you're right. But he is scary though. He definitely is. A deep gratification surged up within me. I could just imagine how incredible it would feel to tear through someone's flesh with those knives. Why don't you say something, huh? You fucking blind or what? If you don't want to hand it over, then we'll just kill you and take it ourselves. You think you can kill me with only a knife? I would love to see you try. The fuck you laughing at, asshole? Hey, maybe we should back off. Something ain't right about him. Like hell, you chicken shit. I ain't letting him get away with talking that kind of shit. Fuck no. Well, what are you waiting for? I'm standing right here. Go on, kill me. Or did you think I would bend over and hand you my wallet simply because you started waving a knife around? You make a mockery of me. If you're not prepared to use the knife to take another man's life, then I suggest you put it back in the kitchen. It's perhaps a bit excessive for everyday use, but at least you can peel fruit with it. A fine idea, wouldn't you say? I've had enough of your bullshit, Slanty. You're fucking dead! The hoodlum made a dash for me, and a beat later his companion followed suit. I didn't waste a second either. With my eyes fixed on them, I took a step backwards, lifted my leg. I made as if I were to kick them. But instead, I threw my foot into a pile of garbage, launching it into the air. Shards of a glass bottle flew toward the first one's face. On its own, it was an ineffectual attack. He could shield himself, and anything that hit was unlikely to cause significant harm. But the split-second distraction it created was what I wanted. I closed the distance between us and pivoted around to his side. With one hand, I grabbed him by his outstretched arm, the other his collar, and then I swept his feet out from under him. Wait, is the short-haired one Maria talks like her? No, I don't think that. She's not a criminal. I forget what she is now, an old lady of 57, a young slice of 24, or something in between. I'm very old. I'm 231. I'm an old vampire. As tall as he was, his drug-atrophied frame put up little resistance, doing a clean 180 in the air before face planting on the asphalt. A look of horror spread across the other man's face as he continued his charge. He had lost a great deal of momentum, however, and the arm holding the knife had gone slightly slack. So rather than retreat, I stepped toward him, and then I bent myself backward to avoid the blade at the last second. He screeched to a halt, then made as if he was going to turn around. But before he could, I planted my elbow in the nape of his neck. The man let out a pathetic yelp, like a frog being run over by a car, then crumbled to the ground. As soon as he hit the ground, I slammed my foot into his wrist, sending the knife spinning off into the darkness. And then I did the same to his partner. Ah! Fuck! What the hell are you, man? Okay, you win! We'll leave you alone! 200 old vampire now, for most vampires are but a youngin. I know, but I feel old, okay? It's the feeling of oldness. It's the feeling. So let us go. Absolutely pathetic. That fight was so dull I'm about to fall asleep here. Was that honestly the best you could manage? The man tried to get up, so I stomped on his back. Apparently it was more than just physically slow. You'll leave me alone? You misunderstand, my boy. Yes, you're the ones who attacked me. But I'm the one who baited you into it. Why on earth would I let you off with just a few bruises? Oh no, no, no. You're my prey. Ah! The hell's this guy's deal? I knew something was wrong with it. The other man made an attempt to escape, so I planted my foot on his face. But it seemed I put too much force into it. He crashed into the wall and then slid limply to the ground. Hey now, you can't make any sudden moves or my instincts will kick in. Ah, I knocked him unconscious. What a shame. The man's nose was shattered, his face covered with blood, and his eyes rolled back. Gravity was the only force left acting on his body. For a second I was afraid I had killed him, but I could see his chest rising and falling and his fingers twitching slightly. That was fine then. I had no intention of killing either of them after all. Oh really? I mean, they could tell on you, you know. Then again, they probably would be afraid to do so. Maybe it is the best to not kill them, because then there will be bodies and then there will be evidence, so I mean, I guess he's smarter than me. I wouldn't do this, so I wouldn't know. I'm no expert on this. Regardless, happy birthday, Lolly. Thank you, Bacon, thank you. I'd like to see him fighting Batman. That would be interesting. I wonder who would win. I mean, Batman has a lot of like gadgets that he uses, so... But Yukimasa is scary, so... I don't know. Would be an interesting fight either way. But he is Batman, we don't need a new version of the Spider-Man meme. Oh god. Happy 35th birthday. No, 231. All I wanted was to see a little blood. From people, nobody would mind seeing a little beaten up. Oh yeah, that is also very true. Like, they wouldn't tell on him because they are already like those kind of people who gets into this kind of trouble. So yeah, he ain't dumb. He is definitely not dumb. Your friend's down, so that leaves you to entertain me. I grabbed the man by the back of the head, paying no heed to his squirming. Maybe Yuki is actually Darkwing Duck. No. How long have I been 231? Only today. I was 230 yesterday, you know. What are you trying to get at? You know, I wasn't made a vampire, so those like kind of rules don't apply to me. Like the whole, I know which meme you're referring to, like, how long have you been 17? I was born a vampire, which means that I age and stuff very slowly though, very slowly, so I look still young. I mean, some people take me for a teenager, some people take me for around like 20, But yeah. Bacon, come on. No, stop. Oh my goodness, my goodness. But yeah, that's actually quite true, that a lot of people do think that I am a lot younger than I am. Like, I remember when I don't remember, I think I was 20. Yeah, I think I was 20. And I was on a trip with my mom to Rhodes, and we were having all-inclusive on the hotel. And you know, when there's all-inclusive on a hotel, you usually get some kind of like wristband to show that you are allowed to drink alcohol. They tried to give me the kiddie wristband. And we were like, no, I'm allowed to drink. So yeah. Confirmed Lolly was 231 years old when she was turned. Dudar, I wasn't turned. I'm not one of those vampires. Don't make me come over there. There are different kinds of vampires. Some are born into it, others are made. And I mean, you humans are usually used to those who are made, because all your vampire fiction revolves around that, but that's not the whole truth, you know, so... Some vampires are born, and I am one of them, so yeah. Just like the vampires I'm writing about, by the way. I'm having a writing stream by the end of this week. Saying this now already, although I will mention it by the end of the stream as well, so yeah. Ah! Fucking fuck! And slammed his face into the asphalt. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Have you ever played Vampire the Masquerade tabletop? I have not. I am interested in playing the video game. And I think that my computer should be able to handle it, so I will get to that one time in my life. Because I definitely want to. I've seen like some gameplay of it and it seems fun, but no, I haven't like partaken in any of that kind of content at all, actually. And tabletop, I usually don't play a lot of tabletop at all, so... Don't make it come over, I have cake and real coffee. I don't want coffee, dude, or I hate coffee. Coffee is... ugh. Ooh, look at him. Why is he so hot though? Like, why? I hate it. Thick blood dribbled from his nose. There wasn't much yet, so it was probably my imagination. But I felt as though I was enveloped in its sweet, coppery aroma. Endorphins flooded my brain, drowning out my reason. But a small fragment of that reason, that humanity, managed to stay above the surface to admonish me. Do not kill him. Do not break your vow. Do not become a murderer. You chose the path of imperfection and conflict, of humanity. Yeah, you don't have to remind me. I'm not going to kill anyone. I just need to not cross that line, right? I mean, yes, but it would be nice if you didn't do this at all. It is not a nice thing to do. And you kind of promise to be a better person. I mean, technically you are a better person since you haven't killed anyone. And I mean, in your previous lives you were killing people left and right. But I mean, torture isn't really better. Not much better. I feel like it would be... I would rather be quickly stabbed by a sword to death. Although he did like to torture his victims too, but not always, not always. Sometimes it was quick. And I feel like that would be preferable to being tortured like this. So, who are we to tell him how to live his life? I mean, I guess, true. Each to their own, I guess. Dude, just become a dentist. I mean, yeah, he could torture people for a lot of money. That's very true. Oh my goodness. Taking care not to knock him out entirely, I pounded the man's face into the asphalt again and again and again. Listen, I don't want to get into crazy street fights over who's the strongest guy around. And I don't want to experience the thrill of participating in a fight club. Please, please, let me go. All I want is to endlessly brutalize helpless insects like you. Again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again. Plenty of blood, pain and torture. Yeah, going to the dentist, it's awful. I brought my little sis to a restaurant bar before. She was only 16 at the time, but they served her booze. Oh, really? Huh, interesting. Which country are you from, Bacon? Because I mean, yeah, exactly, it is legal in many countries. Here in Sweden it wouldn't be, I think. No, you have to be 18 here. You're going to kill me! You're too much a waste of human flesh for anyone to care, even if you come crawling to them battered and bloody. Screams echoed through a dimly lit alleyway. Of course, the biggest waste of oxygen here is me. Help! Someone help me! Help? You're the idiot who chose to jump me this far out of the way. No one's around to hear you scream. Glancing down, I noticed my hand was dripping with blood. It had probably splattered onto my jacket as well. I'm going to want to wipe myself down before I go home, I thought, as I continued to pummel the man. I wonder if this is... Is this immediately after pulling left? Because she is coming back. And he's like letting himself, so I wonder... Oh god, this could be really bad. Oh. True, 21 in the US, she was off by 5 years. Okay, yeah, then it's bad. But it's very hard with age sometimes, but I feel like if they are uncertain, they should definitely like ask for ID before. And I know that sometimes they are very good with that, other times they don't even bat an eye. So yeah, most of the times they ask me because they always look at me like, almost like with weird eyes, like, oh, little girl, what are you doing here? What are you trying to pull? And then I put out my ID and they're like, oh, I see. The scent of blood calmed my raging spirit. The sound of screams and the taste of despair filled my ravenous soul. Oof, it doesn't sound good. When his shouts and cries began to falter, I let go of the man's head. Bloody foam oozing from his mouth, his whole body twitched on the ground. I rose to my feet, kicking the man over so I could see his face. Not that it was much of a face anymore. I pressed my heel onto his chest, causing a spattering of blood to blow out of his mouth. Help me, please, don't kill me. The once ferocious man was now begging like a small child to be spared. What? Surrendering already? How underwhelming. I haven't nearly had my fill yet. Oh, here's an idea. I wonder what I could do with those knives you pulled on me. How about cutting off your fingers, one by one, until there's none left? Doesn't that sound like so much fun? Please, no more. I'm so sorry. I have no interest in your apologies. In fact, I almost want to thank you for the evening's entertainment. The one thing I could really ask for is for you not giving in so soon. I can't. You're going to kill me. Well, that's terribly unfortunate. And so you know, I've never actually killed anyone. I take great pains to avoid crossing that particular line. It probably helped that it was a group of like 12 people in the late 20s, early 30s, and not to be weird, but my sis had some calcium cannons, so that probably helped too. Okay, I see. Yeah. Yeah, being in a group can always, not always, but sometimes help, or maybe not help, but change the situation, because then they don't really want to check everyone, I guess. Quill, hi, welcome. You're just in time for torture fun. How are you today? Not dead, at least, that's good. Honestly, I don't feel like going all the way would really change much after a beating so severe. But there's a voice inside me that won't let me do that. I used to think it was whatever tiny bit of a conscience I had, but I've come to realize that isn't the case. Tell me, do you have any idea what it is? I have no idea! Help! Don't kill me, please! Of course you wouldn't know. You think I'm some kind of psychopath, don't you? I think you are too, Yukimasa. Not to be rude or anything, but I don't think you are normal. If that was what you were thinking. You're definitely not normal. You have some sort of problem. I don't. I promise. So please, have mercy. You want mercy? Then beg me for it. Plead like the sad little animal you are. Please, have mercy. I'll do anything. I'll give you all the money I have. I'm so sorry. I'm begging you. Spare me. As you wish. I'm done here. You get yourself to a hospital before you die. And don't you tell anyone there about me. Well, I doubt I give it much stock beyond a scuffle between lowlifes. I don't want to take any unnecessary risks. Poor guy. I mean, he had it coming. He wasn't a good man either, but I don't think he deserved that kind of beating. The man gave me several rapid nods, then began to crawl away, whimpering. He seemed like he was trying to push himself to his feet, but not having any luck. But I didn't give a damn about what happened to him next. Your crazy laughter is very convincing, and you're a dentist. No, I'm not a dentist. But yeah, thank you for thinking that it's convincing. That means I'm doing a good job, at least. What I needed to do was wipe the blood off me, get home and sleep, and watch to see if any dead bodies showed up on the news over the next few days. I didn't even give the beaten and battered pair a second glance. They were the dregs of humanity, and so they were a fair game. Of course, as I had told the one man, I was the lowest scum of all. I pulverized men to quench my thirst, but I never killed them. I kept my vow. I wasn't so far gone as to think anything other than murder was okay, though. I knew perfectly well that was what I was doing. I knew perfectly well that what I was doing was reprehensible. And still, in spite of that, I yearned for something more. Yikes. And in comes Pauline. Yeah, oh my god, she's already there. This is bad. He's not expecting her. And they have like happy cute music. What? No. Game, stop. I'm looking at the time and I'm feeling in my body. It's an old body. I think it's time for a small or short rather stretch break. So I will go and stretch. I advise you guys to do as well because it's not good to sit still for too long. And then we'll see each other here again soon. So don't go anywhere too far. I'll be back. Alright, I am back. And I feel ready to continue. I hope everyone else have had a good break as well. Letting myself in. Wait, is Yukimasa out? Well darn, that ruins my plans. Might as well poke around while I'm here. Maybe I'll find out something new about him. Pauline, you shouldn't poke around, even if it is your boyfriend. That is very rude. Sorry for sneaking around like this, Yukimasa. Only a couple hours earlier, Yukimasa and I had been hanging out together here, talking and smiling and laughing and watching TV. But now, it was deathly quiet. I felt a chill in the air as I stood there, all by myself. When Yukimasa had a key made for me, he probably didn't think I would use it to sneak in when he wasn't around. He wouldn't have trusted me with it if he did. And up until today, I'd always gotten in touch before coming over. A surprise inspection like this was a first. Anyway, I need to figure out why he won't let me stay the night. Maybe he keeps all his naughty stuff by his bed, but doesn't want me to see it. There's something kind of exhilarating about secretly digging around your boyfriend's house. Now, contain yourself, Pauline. I let myself get a little overly worried on the way here because of that weird voice in my head. But really, I don't have any reason to be concerned. Here goes nothing. I spy a DVD case. Do we have a classic case of dirty videos under the bed here? A gore horror B movie. Aw, I was hoping to find porn. Oh my god! Pauline, stop! Wait, why am I disappointed? I'm kinda surprised. Yuki must have never struck me as a gory movie guy. Oh, he definitely strikes me as a gory movie guy. Like the worst kind of splatter films, he probably enjoys those a lot. Maybe he secretly spends his evenings binge watching splatter films. Yeah, definitely. I feel like Yuki Masa's hobby would feel as alien to Pauline as the concept of boundaries, apparently. Yeah. I can understand why he wouldn't want to tell me, but that's hardly enough to scare me off. Like, I can accept this behavior just because it's Pauline, because she's a child in an adult's body, I feel. Like, she's not like everyone else in that way. I mean, they're both weird in that way, I guess. Because, yeah, she is definitely very, like, childish, very naive. Always, like, thinks the best of people. So I doubt she even sees, like, the problem with doing this. Now, if he asked me to watch one with him, I'd probably have to close my eyes for most of it. But who knows? Maybe it could turn out to be fun. Where should I look next? Oh, how about his laptop? Oh, that's dangerous territory there. Laptop. Huh? It needs a password to boot up. What could it be? Maybe he used my name? Let's give it a shot. Of course not. We've only been dating for 2 months. He wouldn't use my name for a password this soon. There's still other things I can try. His birthday? Oh no, that wasn't it. Alright, what about Nippon? No, why would it be that? I'm running out of ideas. Yeah, very good passwords there. Oh crap, it locked me out! Now he's going to know I tried to get into it. Good job, Pauline. Good job. I'm proud of you. This is bad. This is real bad. Is there any way to undo the lock? Well, you are not a hacker, Pauline. Footsteps! He's home and he's coming this way! Crap! I need to find somewhere to hide. Hiding is not going to be good. Oh god, she is going to die. Oh, I'm getting stressed. Oh, the wardrobe. That looks big enough to fit me. Nippon is a Japanese word for Japan. Yeah, I felt like I recognized it. Thank you for confirming. I knew I had heard it somewhere, so... Think we can burn the laptop, blame the squirrels. Yes. Perfect. Move your butt, Pauline. My laptop's open. Did I leave it that way? Shoot! He's gonna see I mess with it! I suppose I must have. Phew! I'm in the clear now. Who here has a lock on their phone? I don't. I'm too lazy to bother with that. I check my phone too often. Like, I check it way too often. So I tried to have like a code for it, but then I got annoyed, so I removed it. This is how Pauline becomes the skeleton in the cabinet. Yeah, that's what I feel. I don't never have. Okay, yeah, then you like me then. I would want to, because I feel like it's safer, like if it were to get stolen, but at the same time, I check my phone way too often. Like, I'm addicted to my phone. I would be crazy if I had to put in a code every time. I do have one on my computer though, because that one I doesn't open as often. I have an intricate number password for my phone. That's the smart thing. You guys are smart. I'm not. I'm a dum-dum. I'm begging to get my phone stolen, basically. Luckily, because my coworker wanted to steal my phone today. Oh, really? Wait, I didn't think this through at all. Hiding here was a terrible idea, and now I have no way out. How airheaded can you be, Pauline? If you just said, "Oh, sorry, I left something here," you probably would have bought it without batting an eye. But you look like a total creep if you just hop out of his wardrobe. I mean, we are all supposed to come out of the wardrobe? Question mark? Sorry, that was a terrible joke. Oh my god. I have one of those shape thingies, complicated one. Okay, I see. Like, I have thought about having like a fingerprint lock on my phone, but then I think, what if something were to happen, either to like my phone that it doesn't like recognize it, or if something happened to my fingerprint? Like, what if something happens and it changes? Then I would never be able to get into my phone. So yeah. I recently migrated to an iPhone. Face ID is actually amazing coming from an Android. Okay, yeah. I see. That's also something I have contemplated, but feel like, but what if something happens? What if it stops recognizing me, or the program just stops working? Or my face changes so much that it won't be recognizable anymore. I mean, it could happen. Why be smart when not being smart makes for better content? Yeah. Hop out and yell surprise. Yeah, that would be probably like a good idea. I mean, maybe not to him. I think she is screwed either way because of who he is, but if he was a normal boyfriend, then sure, that would be like a good way to get out of the situation. Like, surprise, haha, goofy me, like, you know. Surprise, no sleep with me. Surprise, don't stab me. Oh god. You have a backup password? Okay, I see. Yeah, I will consider it, but I think I'm still probably too lazy. Like, I can check my phone, then blacken the screen, check it again 2 seconds later, so yeah. And that's very annoying if you have to like unlock it every time. On the bright side, it is kinda nice getting to see him in his natural habitat. No, it isn't. I peek through the wardrobe's door, trying my best to keep my heart from leaping out of my throat. When he was with me, he always had a pleasant smile, so there was something refreshing about seeing him stone-faced now. Obviously it would be weird if he was always smiling to himself, but still, he looked almost like a different man when he was on his own. Cool. Personally, I never saw the point of a lock, but I get why people do lock it. Yeah, I do see the point of it, and I like I said, I would want to have it because it would feel safer. Like if I were to lose my phone, or if it would be like get stolen or something, it would feel safer because basically you have your whole life in your phone. Like you have your like bank and like everything. You pay with your phone, you have your personal information there, like everything. So I feel like I should, but yeah. But usually I always keep my phone close to me, so it probably would be more if I dropped it, I guess, rather than it would be stolen, I think. But yeah. After 5 years, I hope you remember the backup password. Oh yeah. Yukimasa is now a bird. Wait, how a bird, Fia? How a bird? Oh yeah, I see it because of natural habitat. Yeah. Famous last words. Yes, yes, definitely. Finds unlocked phone, goes to contacts. Hi mom, I'm in a bit of situation. Could you send $100 to this number? I'll give it back when I'm home. Yeah, I mean, I could see that happening, but yeah. I think my mom would be very, but like, what is going on? This is not how you write. So I mean, so yeah. You can't be smart always. At least I always keep my phone close, so the risk of it getting stolen, it's very small. Especially since I'm like only leaving house when I'm going to work. So is Quill still here? I don't know. I haven't seen her in chat for a while, but maybe she is lurking. Finally taking my eyes off his face, I realized he was wearing a sweatsuit. Had he been out night jogging or something? Yeah, he was just doing his nightly exercise. He liked physical activity, so by itself that wouldn't be unusual. But what did seem off was him saying he had business to attend to, and then sending me home if all I was doing was going for a jog. He also looked exhausted. Was jogging supposed to wear you out so much? I mean, yes. It would probably take a lot out of me, since I never got much physical activity. But unlike me, Yukimasa was in shape. Regardless, physical activity meant sweat. And sweat meant he would go take a shower next, right? And then I could sneak out while he was in there. I can't be bothered to take a shower tonight. I need to sleep. Well, there goes that plan. So what, people are gonna look at my photos, text, call my mother, whatever. Yeah. I feel like it's worse for me, and like I think it's a thing like for all Swedes. We have a lot of personal information on our phones. Like I usually like we have something called bank ID, which is basically something that you use to like pay for everything. I mean, they will still have to have my PIN code for that, but like they could get access to my bank accounts if they really wanted to from my phone, so yeah. You can't be bothered? And there he goes, right into bed. So much for that plan. Who went to bed drenched in sweat anyway? That had to reek. Slovenly was the last thing I expected to find out he was. After a few minutes, I could see his chest moving slowly up and down. My good, strong, healthy Yukimasa was quick to fall asleep too. As much as I wanted to stay here and watch him through the night, now that he was asleep, I could safely leave. I pushed the wardrobe open, slowly and carefully, trying not to make a noise. Let me guess, he's a light sleeper. The lights were off too, so I needed to be especially watchful of where I stepped so I didn't trip over anything. Tiptoeing my way toward the door, I abruptly came to a stop. Maybe I could just climb in beside him. Don't, Pauline, don't, my sweet girl, don't. People call me an airhead all the time, but even I had enough sense to realize how outrageous an idea that was. Not only had I snuck into his house without permission, now I was thinking about sneaking into bed with him. It was like something out of a trashy romance novel. Yeah, it's not a romance novel, Pauline, it's a crime novel. And you're the crime. Or about to become the crime. Yeah, but again, those have their own separate passwords. The bank is true, but still. But yeah, as I said, I don't have a lock because I can't be bothered with it because I'm using my phone way too often. Yukimasa would kill Pauline for coming out of the closet. I didn't know he was so intolerant. I know, right? What kind of game is this? On the other hand, we were dating. Maybe he would think of it as a pleasant surprise. I don't think anyone would find that like a pleasant surprise if you just woke up and your partner was there when you specifically told them to like go home. No. No. And imagine like the scare as well, like waking up and holy crap, there's another person here before you realize who it is. Which I feel is what's going to happen here, and knowing Yukimasa, it will not end very nicely. That was pushing my luck, wasn't it? He would wake up in the morning and see me there, and it would probably give him a really big scare. I might even creep him out so much he'd break up with me. But still, the sight of him sleeping there so innocent and vulnerable. Innocent and vulnerable it was. Yes, yes. Was too much for me to resist. Who wouldn't want to run their fingers along that big back or put their arms around that perfectly slender waist? My conscience was screaming at me to behave and go home. But the primal part of me pulled me closer and closer to the bed. I do like this. I mean, I have been talking a lot about this in previous episodes of this, like how the stories have mirrored each other and stuff. But even like here, even though it's the same story, Yukimasa and Pauline are kind of mirroring each other, although their urges are very different from one another. Like, he has an urge to kill her, while she has the urge to just cuddle with him. Like, but I feel I do like that they still have like the same thought process that I shouldn't be doing this is wrong, I should stop, but there's a primal part of me that needs this, you know? I like that like comparison. As long as I clear my browser history, I don't give a hoot who looks through my phone. That's good, that's good. I carefully lifted one knee onto the bed, and the mattress let out a deafening creak. My heart leapt into my throat, but the sound didn't seem to have woken Yukimasa. I stretched my arm out toward him. With every passing moment, the pounding of my heart grew more and more intense. I worried the sound might wake him up. While I'm still catching up, my thought he'll end up promising to only kill Pauline is looking more real. Yeah, yeah. I brushed the tips of my fingers across his cheek, then through his dark hair. He showed no signs of waking. He was always a mature, older one, but it felt like we switched places now. The image brought a little smile to my face, quickly dissolving all the remaining tension in the air. It was safe to get a little closer, wasn't it? He wasn't going to wake up. My heart rate leapt back up as I lowered myself down into his bed, cuddling up next to him. Oh my gosh, I was actually in the same bed with him! How brazen of you, Pauline! I could feel his breath on my lips as I gazed upon his face. I was on cloud 9 and I wanted to keep going even higher. Rationally, I knew I had to get out before I woke up, but I was well past rationality at that point. In my excitement, it took me a few extra moments to notice a strange smell on his sweats. Oh lord. Something sharp layered beneath the scent of his sweat. I couldn't quite place it though, so my curiosity would have to remain unsatisfied for now. As I lay there, basking in bliss, my eyelids started to grow heavy. I'm getting so distracted with this like happy music as well, like it's just a cute romance visual novel. Like it's really, it's kind of jarring, not gonna lie. No, Pauline, you can't go to sleep. You have to go home, and now. But as hard as I tried to push myself out of bed, it was just too warm and cozy here too. And cozy here too. Oh, and she fell asleep. Oh. In my dreams, I'm drenched in fresh red blood. People dying all around me. Everyone dying. Speaking of dreams and being drenched in fresh red blood, I had a crazy dream this morning. I have been dreaming a lot recently because I think I have mentioned this, but I have started taking some medicine to help me go to sleep. That has a side effect that I'm dreaming a lot. Sometimes nightmares, sometimes just regular dreams, but my nights are very lively. And this morning, before I woke up, or I guess it was not really morning, it was still in the night, but it continued on till morning. I was in a house, and I was there with a couple of friends. I didn't know them, they were just my friends in the dream. It wasn't real people that I knew. And we were climbing upstairs, up and up and up, and we had to get to, I don't remember the number exactly, I think it was the 172nd floor. Because reasons, I don't know. And once we get to 78th floor, the whole setting just shifted, and there was blood everywhere over the walls, and it was so freaking creepy. You can't imagine. It was terrifying. It was this whole oppressing atmosphere. Something was wrong there. Not only something bad happened, that sense, but there was a sense of dread. I don't think it's rare for me to have that kind of scary dream, because even if I have nightmares, I usually dream I'm being chased by either a murderer or wasps. That's my usual nightmares, but this was different. This was it was an oppressive atmosphere. I could feel it in my body, it was just that something was terribly wrong. I checked upwards toward the next floor, and I saw demons looking down on me, and it was terrifying. And then I awoke and fell asleep again, and in the morning I continued with the same dream, but we went down again because we needed a new plan, because we couldn't just climb up. But then I think we had lost one of the friends, because one had become one of the demons, and we were having a plan. We were discussing this plan, and this friend came to us, and I was "Oh, don't worry, we have a plan to fix this." And and then the dream went from being this super scary, one of my most terrifying nightmares I've had in a long time, to being something really nice and cozy all of a sudden. It was so weird. It was really weird, and I'm not even sure if I make any sense right now. But it's dreams are interesting. Your vampire urge is starting to show. No, that was not it. It was not good blood. It was bad blood. It was terrifying. I fall asleep listening to podcasts, saying best of my dreams. I can understand that. Whenever I fall asleep, it doesn't happen anymore, because I don't live at home. I don't have my TV on when I sleep. But whenever I have fallen asleep when I have still lived with my parents, and the TV has been on, that usually gets into my dreams as well. So yeah, I can understand that. Tonight I dreamt I was building a slide. I was so disappointed when the alarm went off. Oh god. You remember a lot of it? That's crazy. Yeah! It's rare for me to remember that much, but it had very much of an impact on me. And it also continued between waking up as well. So yeah, it was one of those dreams. I actually got kind of inspired by that. I thought maybe I could write something about this. Who knows? Maybe. Did I read this? I don't remember. I read it again. In my dreams, I'm drenched in fresh red blood. People dying all around me. Everyone dying. No, not simply dying. I'm killing them. A man begs me to spare his life, so I sever his head. A woman implores me that she is with child, so I disembowel her. Oh, these are not dreams, Yukimasa, these are memories. These are memories. A man invokes the name of his god, so I tell him I know no such deity. And a pile of corpses grows. Arms and legs, heads and torsos, entrails and brains. It's all there. It's everywhere. In my shadow stands a maid with vacant eyes. I repeatedly try to kill her, but she won't die, so I keep her. Grinning, I order the maid to take a body and make a meal of it. She does as I demand, serving me a human meat soup. The maid always wears a smile, but her madness can never compare to mine. I cackle uncontrollably, howl like a wild beast. Is that all, master? Are you not going to dismember me? You could try stabbing my face, or my neck, or my stomach, or any other part of me. Perhaps then I might die. Oh now, don't look at me like I'm some exotic creature. A man who isn't a man, a woman who isn't herself, imprisoned together in a dark, decrepit mansion. I believe the woman to be the witch, but the witch is elsewhere, looking down on me. Remember that you have always been a beast, incapable of saving anyone, only of taking. Remember and suffer. Agonize, writhe, anguish, grieve, suffer. The witch is right. I've always been enamored with death, with killing. My hands are only capable of taking, not offering. I'm a monster. My lust for blood will always overwhelm any affection I manage to muster. That's the simple truth. I really like the music. It's reminding me of the music that played when Nelly was making her move. It's dark and a bit haunting, almost sad in a way. This isn't how it's supposed to be, you know? Look at all the blood I've spilt. Look at me, cackling as I sit upon this mountain of bodies. Oh, Pauline. What are you doing there? You can't see me like this. Not while I'm a beast, driven by nothing but primal instinct. Stay back, or I might end up killing you too. Though, to tell you the truth, I've always wanted to kill you. With your chains, you bring tranquility to my world. You're the only one who can keep me tethered to the ground. And I can only imagine how incredible a release it would be to tear them off. I need you to live for me, and I long to kill you more than anyone else. But this is a dream. I have nothing to lose by indulging my desires. Oh, it's not real, so I have no need for a tether. It's not real, so I can do whatever I please. Oh, I hate this. This is the one place I don't have to hold myself back. Oh, Pauline, poor girl. She always has the worst of all this. She's so innocent. She doesn't deserve any of what is coming to her, like in any of the timelines. Pauline. Pauline. Let me hear how you wail. Let me see how you writhe. Oh, my god. I can't breathe. Yuki Masa, wake up! I've been so miserable for so long. Roughing up lowlifes never did anything for me. It only stayed off the hunger for a little. Sneaking into someone's apartment, such a great idea. Yeah. The only thing that can truly satisfy me is the hope draining from the eyes of someone who made a real difference in my life. What's gotten into you? Yuki Masa, get off me! Pauline's neck was even slighter than I had imagined. Leaning in slightly would likely be all it would take to snap it. I could feel her pulse on the palm of my hand. I could feel every gasp and grunt she forced out of my arms, my chest, my face. Please, stop! You're going to kill me! We need Batman right now, yeah. I am afraid Batman won't come. Yeah, wrong universe. A wave of ecstasy surged up within me. Dream or not, I was strangling her. At long last, I was squeezing the life out of her. I can't breathe. Yuki Masa, please don't kill. At long last. Get off! Yuki Masa, why would you? Something told me this wasn't the first time I had heard Pauline's dying gasps. Yeah? Pauline is so incredibly innocent, so much that she's adorable while being creepy. I do also love the way her urge to cuddle mirrors Yuki's murderous one. Yeah. Batman was traveling to another world before. Yuki Masa, you're breathtaking. Oh my god. Examine, no. Oh my goodness. Pauline. She believed in me. She put her faith in a beast and went out in search of him. I cannot allow myself to be the kind of monster that would murder a woman like her. I have to change. I will change the future. When my life here comes to an end, I vow to make my next one better. Yeah, those were your words, Yuki Masa. How is that going for you? I mean, if this is not a red flag, well, I don't know what would be. Yeah. Like I said, I don't see them having a happy ending. I hope that he won't kill her, that he will come to his senses. But if she stays with him, in a relationship after this, girl, you need to value yourself more. A fragment of a memory, a vow exchanged long ago. The pieces were too vague to see who or where it was, or if it was even a memory of something that actually occurred. But what did it matter? Why would I uphold a vow I knew nothing about in a dream? For years I had held back, fought the urges, kept my word. It didn't even matter if this was the first or the third time I'd killed her. This was a dream, and I was going to do as I pleased. That was the whole reason I was having the dream in the first. Yuki Masa. This was a dream? This indescribably lifelike sensation was a dream. These incomparably vivid cries were a dream. No, they weren't. This isn't a dream. Good, he stopped. Pauline! The fog of my dreams rapidly receded, and my narrowed vision filled out. Pauline was splayed out limply beneath me. For a brief moment, I questioned what she was doing in my room, but quickly discarded the thought as unimportant. Did I actually kill Pauline? Pauline, hey, Pauline, stay with me! Is she breathing? I swear, if he actually killed her, like... I put a hand on her chest, my ear to her lips, but nothing. She wasn't breathing. Oh my god. I hate this. Yukimasa, I actually kind of hate you. I imagine this actually happened over 20 seconds, not several minutes. Yeah, I mean, that's probably true, but like still. This girl really can't catch a break, like in any of her lives. No. How could I... After I did everything in my power to stop myself from hurting you. Pauline! I shook her by the shoulders, I slapped her cheeks, but nothing brought the light back to her eyes. I shouted her name, I shook her some more, I smacked her again. I repeated the cycle who knows how many times, but I got no more reaction out of her than a mannequin. You should... PCR, maybe? Pauline, please breathe for me, Pauline! Out of other ideas, but desperate to do some CPR, not PCR, my god. Sorry. Out of other ideas, but desperate to do something, I started performing CPR. I had no idea if I was doing it correctly, or if it was even the right thing to do in this situation. For as many ways as I could devise to kill a man, I was clueless about how to save one. But I couldn't just sit around and do nothing. Hands that only ever brought pain were now trying to reverse it. Fingers that knew only the taste of blood now sought to imbue life. And I was painfully aware of the irony when these same hands had squeezed the life out of her in the first place. I blew air into her dozens of times, but Pauline's body remained limp. Oh my god, is she... Sweat dripped from my forehead onto her ghostly white cheeks. With each new attempt to resuscitate her, the bed beneath us creaked like a screeching banshee. Pauline. Pauline. I shouted her name. I pressed the heel of my hand into her breast. I blew into her mouth. I had been going in circles for who knew how long, but her eyes remained murky and grey. Oh my god. I like how CPR is presented here as something you do when you're out of ideas and not, you know, the first thing that comes to mind. Yeah. Then again, Yukimasa is not really the guy to save a life, so I guess he would not really know what to do. Her mouth hung faintly open, but no sound slipped through her lips. Neither her voice calling my name, nor the wisp of her breath. This was the moment I had so dearly longed for. Yet all I felt was maddening despair. I had destroyed her once again. I had killed her, yet again. I had failed to uphold my vow. Failed to protect the one person I needed most. The one person who should have lived. This was proof I would never change, that I would always be a savage, bloodthirsty beast. No, even beast was too good for me. I was no more than a lowly fiend. It didn't matter how many tries you gave me. I would always travel down the same path. I should have distanced myself from her before it reached this point. Pushed her away. At least then she would be able to live in peace as she wished. I should have never let her in. I hate this. Oh my god, she is alive. She is alive, thank goodness. And when I reached the deepest depths of my thoughts, Pauline's throat spasmed. My eyes went wide, and the next second, she took in a huge breath. A glimmer had begun to return to her eyes. Pauline! What happened? Yuki... Masa... Oh, right. I remember now. Thank goodness you're back to yourself. That's a relief. Pauline, I'm so sorry. I'm so very sorry for hurting you like that. Yeah, it hurt. But hey, I'm alive, so it's water under the bridge. Pauline, my sweet, lovely little girl. My God, you need to value yourself more. He is a freaking red flag. You need to get yourself out of this relationship. This is toxic. This is so toxic, and it's never gonna be anything but toxic. How was anything okay? She had been mere moments from death, and I had pushed her there. How could she be smiling at me like this when I had just strangled her? Why did she not berate me? Where did the overwhelming, gentle warmth in her eyes come from? She's basically Jaren here. Yeah, only that Jaren didn't know. Jaren was messed up in a different way, but Pauline, yeah, I'm starting to think that Pauline is actually insane as well, but in a different way from both Jaren and Yukimasa. She's a different kind of insane. She doesn't value herself enough. Oh my God. Yeah, she's definitely too sweet for this world. Ugh. I hate, if they have ugh. Pauline took a few minutes to catch her breath and collect herself, for which I sat and waited in silence. The only sound in the night was the rhythmic ticking of the second hand. She didn't make eye contact with me, and I obviously couldn't look her in the eyes, so time simply flowed like molasses between us. After what felt like forever, she let out a strained, "I'm all right now." I nodded, and then turned to her and handed her my phone. "Call the police. Turn me in. I'll confess to anything and everything." Yeah, I feel like that's the best thing here. Seriously. There's, even if they, get over this episode, there's no guarantee that this won't happen again. Even if he does know that he's wrong, that he's, regretting it, he still has those urges. What if he sleepwalks, sometime, or if she surprises him another time? He can't really control these urges, and he feels them even stronger with her. We thought that Mel and Nellie were toxic, but honestly, this is just, this takes the cake. This isn't, I don't see a happy ending here, and I really don't want it. What I want is for her to get away from him and have a happy life without him, because he is not good for her. I know that's not what she wants, but seriously, he's only caused her harm in all her lifetimes. Killed her even, I still remember the second door so vividly, those images of her crawling through the floor towards him. Even then she forgave him, so we know that she will forgive him, because that's who she is. She didn't even care that he killed her brutally in her second life. But this won't end happily for either of them. She's too innocent to be like, oh, I bet it was just a misunderstanding. Yeah! And that's what she was. I don't know if you have seen my playthrough of the main game, The House in Fata Morgana, but like, even in the second life, that was basically what she said. Like, she was even like dying, being brutally skewered by his sword, like again and again and again. Like she was crawling in her own pool of blood, and she was like fine with that. Like, the only thing she was sad about was when she thought that he had replaced her for someone else. Like, did we expect a happy ending here before? No, I really didn't. But this is like the third game in a trilogy, and this is like supposed to be their happy endings, I think, and I don't see it with them. I really don't. Like, even if she forgives him now, and even if it promises it will never happen again, there's no guarantees with him. Like, he has had 3 lives, he comes back to it every single time. So, yeah. They can still practice BDS. I don't think it would be safe, actually, to have Yukimasa in that kind of situation. He would just go, like, insane. And also, like, he's not interested in, like, sexual stuff, I feel. He gets his pleasure from killing and hurting. Like, in a non-consensual way, you know? She can't fix it, no one can fix someone else. People can only try to fix themselves, and even that might only work if they really want to. Yeah. I mean, that could be, and I guess that's where they are going with this, that he will promise to try to be better for her. But I don't see it with him. Like, yes, Nellie had problems with being in love with her brother, but she's 14. She will get over that. Yukimasa is an adult man, and he has had these urges since he was in elementary school. So, like, yeah. His half is there with a vow he's fixated on, but with deep-rooted issues another person can help steer and support that journey. Yeah, I guess. And I think that's probably where they're going to go with this. But honestly, I feel like Pauline has had enough. I wish for her to, like, have happiness. But then again, she is messed up in her own way, so I guess if she can help him on his journey, she would consider that happiness. So again, who are we to judge another person for their choices? But like, he is so toxic. He's really, really so toxic, and I hate it for her because she doesn't deserve it. How old are they? They are adults. I think. I don't remember exactly how old they are. Like, I think they're like 24, 25, somewhere around there. But I was talking about another the story that came before this one was about 2 siblings that were 17 and 14. They also had problems, but different kind of problems. But Yukimasa and Pauline are around 24, 25, I think. Or maybe younger, somewhere in the 20, around 20 something at least, I think. Yukimasa, or Pauline might be 19, now that I think of it. I don't know. I don't remember. But as the youngest, 19, but I think she's around 20 something, and Yukimasa as well. Her eyes went wide. But the confusion only lasted a few seconds, and her face quickly twisted into a grimace. She wasn't a child. She knew good and well what I had done. That I had attempted to murder her. We were assailant and victim. Before I do anything, I want you to talk to me. I want to know more about you, Yukimasa. You want to talk? After I nearly killed you, have you lost your mind? Yes, I want to talk. I want to understand why. If you attack me because you hated me, that would be one thing. But that's not what it was about, is it? There's another, better reason. Oh, I don't know about a better reason. She definitely doesn't have the sense of self-preservation of a 20-something. Yeah, she doesn't. There was no better reason. I could claim I simply panicked, but what I did went far beyond any reasonable definition of panic. And even though I did believe it was a dream in the moment, my desire to kill her was no less sincere for it. Nothing I could say could possibly justify or explain away my actions. To be clear, I don't want assurances. I don't want you to sugarcoat anything to make it palatable for me. I just want to know the real, genuine you. Her words cut off my train of thought. It was beginning to sound like she knew that the man I was around her was a mere facade. She looked me straight in the eyes. Her gaze was unflinching, determined. Are you serious? Do you really want to see what lies beyond the mask? Are you really prepared to cross that line? It's all right. I'm ready for anything. So please, tell me. Are you absolutely sure about this, Pauline? Are you sure you want to shatter the illusion of me being a respectable boyfriend? I think that illusion is shattered already, my man. Pauline, you can talk to him during prison visitation if you want. You know, safely from behind thick glass. Yeah. Well, alright then. If you're really sure, then okay. I'll bite the bullet. I'll tell you everything. Strip myself bare and show you the hideous creature within. And so I laid everything out for her. The nature and the extent of my desires. That I had been deeply enamored with others' pain since I was a child. That anyone I interacted with, I was constantly imagining them dying. That I had not yet killed anyone, but I had done everything short of it. I told her where I had been this evening, and that it was something I did regularly. And finally, I confessed to fantasizing about killing her too. She sat and listened quietly the entire time. Her only reaction was to occasionally grimace. My whole life, I'd reveled in causing others pain. But seeing her so emotionally devastated, I felt a pang of regret for the first time in my life. Good. This is why you need to turn me in, for your own safety as well as others. I'm barely able to stop myself from killing anyone now, but there's no saying when that dam might break, and even without that, they could easily hit me with a list of battery charges long enough to fill a book. It's more than enough to have me thrown behind bars. Allow me to apologize, Pauline, for all the pain I've caused, and for deceiving you into being with a man like me. You deserve to be with a man who deserves you, Pauline, not one who's twisted and broken like me. That's what I want most for you. If you can't report me, then I'll turn myself in. So please, Pauline. Out of the question. I won't turn you in, and I won't let you turn yourself in either. But then what made you willing to turn yourself in now? Not any of the other countless opportunities you've had. That you almost killed me? Which just goes to show how important I really am to you. Pauline, you really are too sweet for this world. Here's my core movie collection, oh god. I bet $10 she'd be like, oh, you told me you wanted to kill me if you're honest, so it means I can trust you. Yeah. Yes, you are, as I've said. I'm able to forget about the monster I am when I'm with you. But Go on. I'm listening. Don't worry. I want to know how you really feel. What I feel for you is not what you feel for me. I don't love you. You're the chains that keep my desires trapped away. I want you, but for entirely selfish reasons. My attraction to you is completely, utterly self-serving. Well, darn. So you really were always just going along with what I wanted, huh? Her response was surprisingly cool-headed, considering I had just explicitly told her I didn't love her. But the smile she wore appeared to be on the verge of tears. You have every right to cut me out of your life. I can't give you what you want, and you'll never be happy with me. You know, my love for you is self-serving too, I think. These feelings, they make me happy, and I wouldn't still be here if they didn't. I don't love you for you. I love you for me. I mean, sure, it's kind of a bummer that you don't feel the same way. Like, wow, so it was only just an act, huh? But it's sad, but it doesn't hurt that much. Like, I still mean a lot to you, though. We may not feel the exact same way, but that's so much better than you feeling nothing. What on earth are you talking about? I just confessed to a litany of crimes. The only thing you should feel for me is repulsion. You need to get me out of your life, now. Yukimasa is still a monster in bed with her though, I guess. Dudar. No. Don't put those images in my head. You think that's not exactly what I want to? But I can't. I can't just control how I feel. Wow, they're having a fight. I let out a gasp at her sudden outburst. No, it probably wasn't sudden. She was just acting collected and could no longer keep it up. And how could I blame her? If anything, her reaction was still restrained for everything I'd done. I've been trying this entire time to make myself not like you, but it hasn't worked, not one bit. I desperately want to cut you out, but I can't bring myself to. I know you've done terrible, horrible things, but I can't call the police on you, and I don't want anyone else to either. This isn't easy for me. It doesn't make sense to me either. I care too much to just throw you away at the drop of a hat. And I don't know why. We've only been together for 2 months. I'm even more confused than you. Pauline, I'm sorry. Surely there was something more appropriate I could say to her. But I tried uninspired I'm sorry was the best I could manage. She put her head in her hands and sobbed. And then, after some time, she looked up, wrapped her arms around me, and squeezed. Imagine Yukimasa being the voice of reason here. Crazy. I know, that is kind of insane, honestly. That's what I'm saying, like, she's messed up as well in a different kind of way. And this CG here would be kind of cute if it wasn't for what we know. Like, it's beautiful, it's gorgeous, but like, they are so toxic. Girl, don't be confused somewhere far away from the guy who almost killed you. Yeah, I feel the same. And it's so interesting because when this is like similar to how the first story went with Mel and Nellie. Like, they had completely different setup and different problems, but there I felt like, yeah, they can still make this work. It isn't over. Here, I mean, yeah, okay, they could kind of make it work for them because they're both being selfish, I guess. But they are so toxic, both of them. Like, oh my goodness. I've been thinking, And it seems like your mind is made a little differently than others. You could say that. So it's like when I see a puppy and start falling over it, or my eyes go sparkly at a pretty outfit. The pleasure I get from things like that is tied to hurting people in your mind. I suppose that's right. Although describing it that way makes it sound like nothing more than a difference in interests. Sorry, but it makes sense to me that way. I can't imagine how difficult it must be for you. She is too sweet for this world. You have an uncontrollable desire for something our society has declared is wrong. It's not possible for you to both live in this world and have fulfillment. As long as you remain in this society, your only options are to live unfulfilled or become an outcast. It's miserable having to bury yourself like that. It's suffocating. It hurts not being able to share your interests with anyone. Pauline, it's not like an interest, it's like a problem. Like, it's not normal. It's not like he's collecting stamps or something. He's not collecting rocks. This is a problem. In the same way like addiction is a problem. He's like a torture addict. And that's not a good thing. It's not just like an interest. They would make a great supervillain couple. I feel like Pauline wouldn't make a great supervillain though. Like, yeah, she's toxic for him, like, or for her rather. Like, but she's not a bad person. She's too innocent to be a villain. She said the society declared it as wrong as it was just a matter of opinion. Yeah, it's just wrong. Yeah. You've had to deal with that for so long. I feel terrible for you. Don't. I don't deserve your sympathy. You should feel bad for the countless people I've hurt, not the one who hurt them. You're right. That's what anyone else would do. You've done lots of terrible things, and your victims absolutely deserve sympathy. The whole world would revile you and feel bad for them if they knew. You've already got our entire society poised to turn against you. So you need at least one person who will acknowledge your pain. One who will accept you for who you are. And I want that person to be me. I used to think you were a sensible woman, but it seems I misjudged you. You too have a pair of screws loose. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think Pauline might be autistic, especially with how she's projecting her lens to Yuki. That is a good guess, Quill. I mean, yeah. And that would like also, I guess, explain her innocence and her worldview a bit, I guess. So yeah, could be something like that, definitely. I mean, that's what's so interesting about this game. It's very realistic. All the problems that the characters are faced with are based on reality, even if it might be a little bit like heightened for fiction, but I still feel like they are all very real characters. Like, yeah, so that's a very good comment there, Quill. That could be true. Yukimasa actually makes sense, Pauline. Yeah, most people would say it like that, but I'm not like other girls. Yeah. Yeah. Also, I'm looking at the time. We have been going a bit over time. Is this going to be long, or are we reaching the end soon? Will I be able to finish it today? I don't have to shower at least, because I already done that. It's only a matter of food I have to fix, and depending on how long this takes, I can make it real quick if I have to. So, but I wonder, are we like there soon, or is there like hours left? I probably do, yeah. Hey, I want to propose something. A mad request from a mad woman. Yeah? I've decided I can't leave you. I won't abandon you, and I won't stop loving you. So if you have to kill someone, make me your first. Quill, you predicted this. Are we there yet? No, I don't mean it like that. I'm loving this. I am having a blast, but I'm just thinking of like content-wise, because I would not want to cut it off and then it'd be like, oh, we only have 5 minutes, you know? I don't remember how much is left here. It doesn't feel like there should be a lot. Yeah, that's what I'm feeling. Like, if I'm just like basing it off how Mel and Nellie's story was, then yeah. I feel like we are at the end here, so we will push through. I mean, it's my birthday. It's a birthday stream. Might as well make it extra special, you know? Yeah. You did predict this, Quill. Congratulations. Ah. What? You can't possibly be serious, Pauline. I can. And I am. I don't want you to hurt anyone else. But if you do end up killing someone, I'd rather be dead than left behind to watch as you're dragged away from me. Yeah, I mean, as I said, in the second door, she was not sad about him killing her. She was sad about him replacing her. And then, once you've killed me, turn yourself in. You're joking, right? Do you think I would joke about that? Didn't you say it was the chains that kept you tethered to the ground? Yeah, I did, but... Well, I'm putting my money on them being sturdy chains, though I did almost lose that bet just tonight. Once the chains stop being effective, you lose control, so I want you to make me your first and last. Also, I'm thinking, and that thinking has me scared. Remember how in their first life, Morgana was his first tether. Then he found Pauline. Morgana wasn't needed anymore. In the second life, Pauline was his first tether. The white-haired girl arrives. He didn't need Pauline anymore. Morgana is in this story. Yukimasa is helping Michelle and Giselle and Maria with the cafe. And we know that Morgana will eventually move into the house, because we have seen it happen. If that happens, will Morgana become his new tether again? And Pauline will have to die brutally again. I hate this. She doesn't deserve this. She really deserved to be happy. I mean, she thinks she is happy, so I guess it's fine, but like, no, it's not fine. It's not. I feel like a mother that's like, have to admonish my child and telling, like, you don't know what's good for you. I know what's best for you, you know? Yeah, I don't think that's the point of her logic either. I can also see what she means. I can understand it in a way, but like, still, she doesn't value herself enough. Don't find a replacement for me. God, you really mean it. You genuinely want to stay with me despite what I am. I do. I can't control how I feel. And no matter what, I'll never be able to not love you. I think I may have my own set as well. Unbreakable chains of love. Even after hearing his confession, I chose not to condemn Yukimasa, which I suppose made me as guilty as him. But that was what I wanted, as crazy as it may have seemed to anyone else. Not that I was entirely confident in my decision either. In opening up to each other, in coming to better know one another, a glimmer of hope had formed between us. But much longer would it be... I feel like they have missed a word, but how much longer would it be able to last? Would he be able to suppress his urges for another 10 years? 20? What about 30? Or a couple of months? The more I thought about it, the more uncertain I grew. For the time being, I just wanted to treasure being able to be with him. That was the life I chose. This is so fucked. Like, yeah, the guy trying to murder her aside, and that is still fucked on his own. She basically put herself in a situation where she has to be with him to keep others safe. Yeah, that too. And I'm conflicted about this because I am happy that the house in Fata Morgana still delivers. It's still very dark and still has its own form of tragedy. It's not just a happy slice of life story just because we haven't reached the final chapter. It's still the house in Fata Morgana. Even if we have a new art style and everything, it's still the game we know and love. So yeah. They're both young. What if they grow apart? What if they start feeling like they don't want to be together? What if one day she wakes up and is no longer feeling happy with this? Yeah. True. But then again, this is the third time they have met each other in their lifetimes. Like, they haven't had... There's a reason this is called Reincarnation. This is their third reincarnation. So I feel like they are basically soulmates in a way. In a weird, messed up way. So I don't think normal applies to them in that way. But yeah, I get what you're saying. The cool Mary Goye, hi, welcome to the stream, and thank you. But now she's stuck because she basically keeps the society safe from him. It feels like getting at a young age into a marriage without the option for divorce. Yeah, it's very toxic. Third time's the charm. No, it's just toxic, honestly. But I mean, if they are happy, yay? Question mark. Good morning, Yukimasa. Look! I borrowed your kitchen and made bacon and eggs. It's a little burned, but it should taste fine. Good morning, Pauline. Why are you squinting at me like that? I was just trying to figure out if last night was all a dream or not. Nope, it wasn't a dream, which is why you really should hop in the shower now. You conked right out after we were done, so you still smell pretty ripe. I distinctly remember attacking those lowlights last night, so it was all real then. It's only been one night though. How could she possibly have come to terms with it so quickly? How on earth is she able to act so cheery? Although, I guess it's better than her being gloomy. It's such a bizarre juxtaposition. The normalcy of her cooking breakfast next to the fact that she knows I'm a monster. Oh, do I? Then I suppose I will take a shower first. Yeah, shower off the blood. Just say that happily, casually, like everything is normal. Everything is fine, nothing is wrong. But they basically said they aren't happy. They might not realize that, but what they described is not happiness. Yeah. Nope, wasn't a dream, you almost murdered me. Maybe a shower, dear. Yeah, this is so messed up. Oh my god. I am very much looking forward to seeing Jacopo and Maria. And Morgana, I guess, will be in that mix as well, because her life is very, very tied to Jacopo, so I am very interested to see how it will go, because these two stories have showed us that, yes, they have a new life, they have a new chance to make things good, but they are still the same people. They have to work for it. So I'm very interested to see how it will how it will pan out. 10 years later, honey, wash your bloody hands before dinner. Yeah. Yep, everything is normal, nothing to see here. The biggest twist is that she is more messed up and crazy than him. I know, right? That is... I don't think I have realized it before, because she has always been like killed off. Like in her first life, in her real first life, she was killed before she even knew what was going on. She didn't know what was going on. But like, if we take the whole part where Michelle time traveled, but really didn't, but like, met with them, and she found out. She wanted him to turn himself in, which is strange that she doesn't want that now, because she wanted him to turn himself in then. And then she died. And in the second life, well, she didn't know until she was dying, so she didn't really have any time to process it. So I don't think we have seen this side of Pauline, like, that she actually isn't just sweet and innocent and naive. She is actually not entirely sane. It's very interesting. Very interesting. Oh my god, Ugo, no. No. And I don't think they will, because, like I said, I don't think he's interested in her in a sexual way, so I doubt it. If I'm Pauline killing people with a sewing needle, like Nifty and the bugs, oh god. He's so cute, I could strangle him, guys. I'm loving the vibes here. We are keeping it nice and sane here, because someone has to be. Or is this all of us just losing our minds collectively? Oh yeah, one other thing. Yes. You can be yourself around me. You don't have to put on your usual facade. If you're okay with that, then sure, I can. But just so you know, that means I won't smile anymore. Oh, that's no big deal. I know the real Yukimasa now. I'll do just fine without this fake smile. I'm quite fond of the brusque, stone-faced you too. It's a charming look. Sanity, where, when? Okay, yeah, we are losing it. We are losing it. If you say so. Thanks. I nearly killed her yesterday, yet here she is, a bright smile on her face. She may well be even more defective than me. Yeah. And we're back to Maria, so I guess that was the end of that. Possibly, or at least sort of. I mean, it's hard to tell. But I think it is probably moving on to the next part here, because that was how we did it last time, and I feel like that was a good place to end it, like with Yukimasa coming to realize what I just realized, that Pauline is kind of insane too. So yeah, perfect place to end it for today. But yeah, I really like this game. Like I said before, I have been surprised by how good the Reincarnation have been. I was a bit scared that it would feel a bit like fan fiction, and part of me was scared because I knew that the art style would be different and therefore the vibe different. But also, like I said last time, I think, because it felt like we had a good ending with the main game, so this really wasn't needed. So I was like worried, what will they do with this? How will they squeeze more out of this story? But I'm really happily surprised. It still feels very much like the house in Fata Morgana, but with more hopeful endings, if you can call whatever that mess was hopeful. But yeah, it didn't end with her kill this time, so that's a step forward. And the same with Mel and Nellie last time. It didn't end with them separating and Mel just going on to live his cowardice life and not evolving as a person. So yeah. Oh my god, I'm back. I had a phone call. Did the story end? Yeah, it did. I think, at least. It changed scene to another character, at least, so I think that was the end of it. Basically, it ended with Yukimasa realizing once again that Pauline is probably even more crazy than he is. And I still can't believe I haven't seen it. I have spent so much time with her through these games, and still, first now I realize that, yeah, she's not normal either. But yeah, like I said, very happily surprised with how good Reincarnation have been, and how true it feels to the main game. And I feel like it's really interesting to see, like sure, because if we take a look at like how the main game ended, it was very much like a fairy tale ending in a lot of ways. But that's because we only got to see Michelle and Giselle reuniting, and they didn't have these kind of problems. Like they are couple goals, really. So it felt very like fairy tale-esque, and I like that we see here that it's not so easy. You can't just get a second life and everything to be perfect. If you're still the same soul, the same person, you will still have the same problems unless you work on yourself. And why would they? Because they haven't experienced what, as far as they know, they have this nagging feeling that something is wrong because of, like, sort of, they have their memories from their past lives, but they don't really remember, so they don't know what that is or why. So they have no reason. Like, Masa don't remember having had a conversation with Michelle and like, yeah, I promise to be better, I don't want this. Like, he only knows what he knows from this life. So of course it's going to be like similar outcome. So I really like to see that, again, the realism from this game. It's not just like a fairy tale. It is still very dark and realistic, and I enjoy that. Because I was a bit worried, or not worried because I still enjoyed it, but like the first episode that we had, it was very like slice of life, visual novel feel from it. Like, oh, we're happy, it's fun, we're gonna build a cafe. And that's fine. I mean, I want that for them, and I enjoy that, to see that. But if that was all it was to this game, I would be a bit disappointed, I feel, because I would feel a bit like, what is the point? Because the writing in this game has always been stellar, and I'm glad to see that it still is. And that it still feels like the house in Fata Morgana, even though we basically have a new chance now to make things right for everyone and not only our main couple. Isn't it amazing though that we still get the same characters in basically the same story for the third time, and we're still blown away by how insane and good it is? Yeah! I know! Like, both of these stories have been kind of ish repeats of the first and second door, and it's still so good, and I'm still on the edge of my seat. It's really, really good. The writing is stellar, really. Well, since there's a delay on YouTube for me, and I'm legit afraid by the time I see it's over, it will already be over for like 10 seconds. Thank you so much for streaming, it was very interesting. Thank you for being here with me, Savina. It's been really fun to have you here as well. Experience the game seems very good, even though I don't really know most of the context, but also it was a pleasure to hang out with you and your community, and once again, happy birthday. Thank you very much, and I'm glad you enjoyed it. Not sure if Yukimasa's story was right. Yeah. I mean, I feel like it was similar to Door 2. It was different because Pauline wasn't looking for him, and like it was very different, but like it still had the same core with him hurting people for pleasure and being like wanting to kill the woman in his life, because he felt an urge to kill the white-haired girl as well. So yeah, it is like the same stories, but with a twist. It's not like the exact same, because that would be lazy, but it is very similar. Like, even how how, like, it wasn't as apparent in this one because obviously the scene was different, because how Pauline died in the second door, it was very brutal, and here it was still brutal, but it was like more manageable in a way. Strangling is better than like being skewered 1,000 times by a sword. So yeah, not exactly the same, but like the core I feel was still there. But what, like with the first story with Mel and Nellie, like I said during that stream, like even like the image of her like straddling him and kissing him, it was almost like a replica of the image we get to see in the first door, but like twisted and sad instead of like being, or not twisted, but twisted into being sad. I mean, instead of being like scary and yandere, you know. So yeah, I really enjoy this, and this makes me very curious to see what will come next, because if it's still going to follow the same pattern of being similar to the respective doors in the first game, I am very excited for what comes next, because the third door has always been my favorite. I am very curious to see what that will all be about. And it still seems like Jacopo is Maria's boss, if I remember correctly from last time, so yeah, I am interested. I am very interested. But yeah, we have been going over time. I need to make myself some food now. I'm getting hungry. It's good that I had some cake before this. I'm keeping myself from starving at least, but yeah, I'm starting to feel the hunger. So I'm going to do that. And also, I need to write. I'm scatterbrained. Sorry, I need to talk about my schedule. For those of you who have not checked my schedule, my next stream will be on Thursday, 16:15 GMT +2. I will be playing Crisis Core, so if you're interested in that, please come and join us. It will be a lot of fun. And also on Sunday at 13 GMT +2, I will have a writing stream. So if you're interested in writing with me, then come and hang out. It will be a lot of fun. And like, even if you don't write, it tends to be nice and cozy, and we talk about a lot of things like in between the writing sessions. And you can work on something else too. Like, it's not restricted to writing. I know Dudor usually works on video editing, for example. So yeah. But that's the plans for the week. Thank you so much for being here with me today, guys, and celebrating my birthday. I feel so very blessed to have you all here. It's been so much fun and just wonderful to be able to play my favorite story with you guys. Really had a good time. And I hope you guys did as well. So yeah, I wish you all a lovely evening, and I will see you guys next time. Bye everyone!